moving over to the Phoenix Suns. Before I get into who the Phoenix Suns' next head coach should be, who it makes sense, Willie Green, Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, what should the Suns' next head coach not only necessarily be, but what should they fit the mold of? I would like to go here. Mr. Bennett, Sandman, Aaron, Michael in the chat this morning. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm not going to play the Stephen A. Smith clip on Mat Ishbia. I don't really care what Stephen A. Smith says about Mat Ishbia. Truly, I couldn't give a damn what Stephen A. Smith thinks of Mat Ishbia. Mostly because here's what's a little frustrating for you guys. And I'm going to spill it out for you. I don't like to toot my own horn. And I used to be really into these bigger shows. And I can't explain some of them that I'm talking about because some of them I do have relationships with. But I used to be into these bigger shows. But like a lot of you who watch my show, you would much rather, I'm assuming, watch me talk about the Phoenix Suns or listen to Brendan talk about the Phoenix Suns because we're around the team, we have opinions on the team, we watch every single game, or whether it's my opinion on the Diamondbacks or the Cardinals, you are into those opinions because you know I'm not lying to you. I watch this team, I care about this team, I think I know what's going to happen and what should happen. Stephen A. Smith doesn't watch the Suns. He watches a few games and he tries to form the best opinion he can to get the most, I don't like to say clicks because that feels kind of stupid, but the most interaction he can. He enjoys the spotlight. And it's like when LeBron James said, the guy's on a Taylor Swift tour right now talking about his interaction with LeBron, and I really do feel like if LeBron thought that was going to happen, he wouldn't have talked to Stephen A. Smith like that because it's kind of irritating. But my point is, when I hear Stephen A. Smith say that Mat Ishbia is on the track of being the worst owner ever, I don't take it seriously. And I'll give you 30 seconds really quickly on why I don't care what Stephen A. Smith thinks, and I don't want to give him much spotlight, and I'm not going to play his clip on the show because I couldn't care less what Stephen A. Smith says. He's the same guy that said the Knicks wanted Devin Booker and that Devin Booker wanted New York. Like, he doesn't know anything. He's the same guy that said Devin Booker wants New York and New York wants him. Same guy that spouted out nonsense about Kevin Durant trade rumors. Same guy that's now saying Mat Ishbia is on track to be the worst owner in the NBA. The worst owner of all time in the NBA. It is nauseating how bad of a take that is. One, because there's more to owning a basketball team than just the on-court product. And I understand, if you're a Suns fan, that you don't necessarily care about that. And I get that. But there's more to being an owner than just trading for players. Mat Ishbia questioning his want to win is insanity. Questioning his methods on how he's trying to win, totally fair. Which is why I've continued to give Mat Ishbia the benefit of the doubt outside of some of this Josh Bartelstein nonsense. Mat Ishbia is, for all extents and purposes, not only not one of the worst owners ever, he's one of the best owners, if not the best owner in Arizona sports history already. You can question his methods of which he's trying to win. You cannot question his will to want to win. Robert Sarver, you can question his want to and how much money he was trying to make while trying to do that. He was a horrible owner. Not only all the racist, misogynistic things that he got in trouble for, on top of that, he was a horrible on-court product. Mat Ishbia, on the other hand, new facilities for the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury. Going out and trading for Kevin Durant, you could say he didn't like it, but it was aggressive. He wanted to win. He wasn't trying to shed money from Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges like Robert Sarver would have done had one of those guys' contracts came up. Mat Ishbia, whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you care about it or not, did make food cheaper in the venues. That's not nothing. Fans can now go to games and get something to eat. That's not nothing. And the jokes about it, not fair. And even more than any of that, he made Suns games free. You can watch the games for free. And not only that, he said, I'll send you an antenna if you don't have one to watch the Suns games for free. There's more about being an owner than just the on-court product. And it's why I believe with all the other things he's done, new facilities, making Suns games free, making food cheaper in the arenas so that the fans can enjoy themselves even more, that's how I know he's going to succeed in Phoenix. Because he's pushing all the right buttons off the court. He's just got to figure out how to be more patient on the court. And I believe he's going to. And that moves me over to my next point. That not only do I think Mat Ishbia is going to be a good owner, I think he's going to be an insanely great owner for years to come. I think he's going to be one of the best owners in the NBA. That's how good Mat Ishbia is. And he ain't cheap. And for the dummies in the chat, like on Locked On Phoenix Suns, that try to tell me I'm in the pocket of Mat Ishbia, that's actually not true. He has watched our podcast. He's told us that before. But I am not afraid to come out and take swings at anyone. I couldn't care less what Mat Ishbia thinks of me. I really don't. And if I was in his back pocket, I wouldn't be living in a 2-bedroom apartment. But it brings my next point to the head coaching talk of the Phoenix Suns. Where do I want them to go? A lot of people are pointing towards, oh, Mike Malone, that'd be great here, or Taylor Jenkins, that'd be great here. Yeah, I disagree. The Phoenix Suns need a culture builder. And as you could see in the lower third of the screen, I'm talking about Willie Green. If Willie Green is eventually fired from the Pelicans or dismissed from the Pelicans, whether he's fired, whether he's dismissed from the Pelicans, the Phoenix Suns have to nab up Willie Green. And that is the only head coach I'm into that has been a head coach before. Because Willie Green, I can't get out of my head how much he completely out-schemed Monty Williams in the 2022 playoffs. The dude was out there running around with Jose Alvarado and Brandon Ingram and took the Suns to 6 games. And that 6th game was a nail-biter in New Orleans. They were this close to a Game 7. Not to mention, the Suns aren't in need of a hard ass. They already tried to do that with Mike Budenholzer. They kind of tried to do that with Frank Vogel, and no one took him seriously. Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins are for a different form of the Phoenix Suns, a team that's ready to compete like right now. The Suns need to build a culture. They have been skipping steps for too long. They need someone, whether it's Willie Green or whether it's someone else, that can connect with the players and not coddle them. And I used that term on Locked On Suns the other day, but really just a connector. Monty Williams singling out Devin Booker in the bubble years ago, saying, you have been through a lot, acknowledging the suffering Devin Booker has been through. And now they're starting to win. They're saying it's because of you. Willie Green's got to do the same thing. Willie Green has got to be able to single out Devin Booker, befriend him, and then once Devin Booker falls in line, everything else will get figured out. And I bring up the Mat Ishbia stuff because he needs to be able to see that as well. What Mat Ishbia has liked over the past couple of seasons, the big flashy name. Who's won an NBA championship? Well, Frank Vogel has. Well, Mike Budenholzer has. Mike Malone has. Taylor Jenkins hasn't, but he's been to the second round of the playoffs a few times. Now that Mat Ishbia, and it's reported, isn't going after those guys, it makes sense. Because Ishbia is starting to learn. And when you're looking for the next head coach of the Phoenix Suns, and I'll get deeper into this another day, Willie Green, if he's let go, makes a lot of sense. He was in that room under Monty Williams, observing how to build a culture. Combine that with the fact that he's just a much better X's and O's adjustment guy than Monty Williams was, and you see that 2022 playoffs as an example when the Pelicans are facing the Suns, and the Pelicans gave the Suns everything they could handle with Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum, and Brandon Ingram. That's where I would want the Suns to go. If, and only if, he is let go by the Pelicans. And he would be the only coach that has been a head coach before that I would want for the Phoenix Suns. Maybe a different name pops up, my opinion changes, and it likely will. This is going to be a very lengthy process, it seems. But outside of that, the Suns got to go with someone that no one's ever heard of, a top assistant, pay him a ton of money, have him build a culture, have him be an X's and O's guy, but at more than anything, you can't be skipping steps anymore. You got to be a team that builds a culture first and then an identity second, and then we'll figure out how to get the players that also fit that culture and identity so that at some point you can win a championship. And that guy is Willie Green. And if it's not Willie Green because the Pelicans don't let him go, it's not Mike Malone and it's not Taylor Jenkins. Those two guys are just superior versions of Mike Budenholzer. A hard ass that thinks they know better than everyone else and ran their courses somewhere else. You don't want to do that here as well. You want to get a fresh face in. Find your own Spoelstra, which is easier said than done, Mazzulla, whoever it is. A Mazzulla, a Spoelstra, your own JJ Redick, someone like that. Don't go fishing in the other spots that people have already fished before. So that's where I would go with that. Willie Green or a top assistant and someone that can connect with this team and build a culture and an identity.